I'm Wayne Defrancesco, and if you like what I do here on YouTube, come join my website at waynedefrancesco.com.
Hey there everybody, it's Wayne D, and I'm down at the PGA show and had some time this morning, so I was going to do this video that I was sure everybody was going to watch. So I'm going to do a little swing comparison. Two of the, well, I'm trying to be politically correct here, but I'd have to say two of the nicest looking women playing golf these days, and one of them is a tour player, Natalie Gulbis, here on the right, and the other one is well known for being a commentator on the Golf Channel. It's Holly Sonders. And one thing you'll notice about both of them, you can see a lot of legs in these pictures. So this was an opportunity to get Holly's swing on tape because she played in the Pro-Am at the what used to be the Bob Hope last week. So I got a couple of swings. She had a couple nice shots. So I thought we'd take a look. These snagged these swings of Natalie off of YouTube. Now, as you know, I think Natalie's won an event one time and has been out there and has played well enough to stay out there. Of course, she's done extremely well off the golf course, taking advantage of her physical abilities, genetic abilities, I should say. But she can still play some golf. So let's take a look. Now I would question why Natalie's swing still kind of looks like this. She works with Butch Harmon, and I can only imagine that it's because, you know, but I guess between her and her father, they don't really feel like changing it around too much. Because if anything, there's a bunch of things you could probably change. She seems to be athletically talented, gifted, but this technique is not one that's going to... let's put it this way. There are some really weird-looking techniques that win majors, and if you look at Nancy Lopez, you saw some really odd things going on, right? But, you know, Nancy came out and won 9 tournaments her first year, or 8 or 9, and just sort of wiped up first couple of years. So her thing proved to be really good as far as functionality. Now, Natalie's swing hasn't really given her the results that I'm sure she would hope for. And it's just sort of beyond me as to why it wouldn't why you wouldn't change it, unless of course, you know, it's been tried and it just doesn't work. I mean, some people have what they have and they can't really change it. Now you will notice this swing really looks a little bit better. The upper body is still over twisted. The right arm is really the huge problem here. But if you watch this and you watch the move coming down, if I dot where the grip is, you'll see how she can play, because that's pretty darn good right there. She manages to get her right arm back in front of her somewhat. It's going to be a little flippy at the bottom because the arm can't really drive in and recover as much as it should. You can see the hands cross, stay in front of her, and kind of flip a little bit. But as far as pivot movement goes, you'll see not much going on in the backswing as far as lowering. So not much compression going back. That right leg kind of holds its position, and her head will tip kind of forward. This camera's moving around a little bit, so the lines don't really mean it, but you can kind of see it in the background. She's tipping a little forward, over twisting. The club's well crossed, and her right leg straightens up a fair amount. So there's not a lot of down pressure in the backswing, but she creates it in the forward swing. She gets the right arm back in front. And what people sort of talk about as a problem in her swing, which is the dip or the lowering, is really what allows her to take the backswing. That it's really the issue here as far as consistency and being able to return the club to the ball. This backswing is prime for some fixing. So if I had anything to do with it, this wouldn't be as wide. And when it gets to here, the club would be much more up this way. And when it gets to here, the hands would be out here with the club cocked. And she could probably move her lower body just fine from there and catch it and bring it down and do whatever she needed to do. As it is, you can see it's kind of floppy in there. Now this is a driver, so it's going to release a little bit earlier than other ones, and then she's also got the, I don't know what the deal is with women, how they love to straighten that left knee prior to impact, and then everything goes jumping up off the ground. It's pretty common to see that left heel shoot up and spin around. But she certainly looks good while doing it. That's for sure. Now, so this is pretty interesting. Let's go over and look at Holly's swing. So let's try to get a couple of views here. Cameras had kind of they would start at a different point each time, but this is a bad angle, but a nice shot of a full swing. If we look at it at full speed, you can see it's aggressive. She's strong and can really move the club. And one thing, if you look in the background, again the camera's handheld, so you can see that house in the background. So there's a little bit of lowering in the backswing, but you can see it right in transition. The head glides forward, and if anything, it'll come right up. So what you know is that right in here, as nicely toned and built as she is, she's really not using her midsection and the muscles in the lower back. She's kind of skipping them right here. So that's more of an arm pull than anything else. The direction of the movement is good. So the hands come out at the ball. The right arm can get somewhat in front of her. But if you look at the body here, it's just everything is too erect. And you can see it here. There's just no engagement in the muscles in the lower back here. So what's going to happen here? It's the same thing. You're going to see the left leg straighten early. You're going to see the foot heel spin back and the hands flip through. Of course, it's a kind of a blurry camera shot, so you can't really see the impact. But if we go over to not that one. Let's see. Where's that driver? Yeah, they caught this one right at the sort of at the top. You can see it's a little bit on the long side, which is really no problem when you're built like her and you're probably extremely limber. And here you can see the right arm is in pretty good shape. You see the elbow poking out there, much different than Natalie's swing. But once again, you don't see any engagement in the midsection, although with the dress she's wearing, you can see the muscles in her stomach. I guess that's a dress. Probably one of those things with shorts under it, because she probably wouldn't be sporting a skirt that short without shorts. I don't know much about women's fashion, but I don't really get why you would play in something like that. It's almost like not wearing anything. And she was playing with Snedeker, and can't remember who the other guy was, but I can only imagine how distracting that was. I should look up, see what they shot. But here again, you can see the left leg straight and then the club flipping through. You can see the shaft dumping, bending forward. Now she's going to be able to knock it out there pretty good just with speed, and it's probably going to be better with the sweeping shots than she is pinching the ball. But again, you can kind of see the, watch your head on this one, it just is not going to do anything. Now if maintaining your posture was so great, then she probably would be on the tour. But as I've shown over and over again, it's not about maintaining your posture, it's about adding it and being more effective using your lower body and your midsection to get the arms in position to deliver a better strike. So this is kind of what those guys had to put up with. And I say that jokingly, but check this out. Yeah, way to go. Now what's he thinking right about now? Oh, I know what I'd be thinking, and I'm 56 years old. I feel like horrible. Anyway, so we got Holly and we got Natalie. So why don't we do a little poll? We'll say, okay, Holly or Natalie. You just gotta choose one. I'm not gonna say what it's about. You can make it about whatever you want. I'm just going to say, okay, we got Holly on one side, and we got Natalie on the other. All right? It's up to you. You pick. So that's our poll. Holly or Natalie. All right, Wayne D here, having some fun.